So boys and girls, the first thing we're going to do is check our work from page 338 and 339. You'll want to zoom in and pause this as you do the lesson. So scoring on this one's pretty simple, 1 point for each one on this page. You just have to have the last part that they have here in order to get it right. And you probably have your work off to the side somewhere. So just make sure that you have the correct answers, and I just ran through that one. So I'll do it a little better. They just show more work on here than you need to know. Although you have to do that work to get to that final answer anyway. Make sure you have your labels. So if you don't have that label, it'll be a half point off for each one. And you'll want to pause this video again for page 399, 2 points for questions 11 and 12, and 1 point for 13 through 15. And then a reminder that these pages are scored together, so please submit a picture and put that into Google Classroom so that I can see your corrected work. So we're working on some word problems today, and the I can statement is I can find the mean, median, and range in a word problem. And you're watching this Explain Everything video now, so that's good. And then we have 3 pages today to do. 340, 341, and 342 are really quick ones though, so it's not as much as it seems. So let's start with page 340, and this page says, word problems with mean, median, and range, solve. Make sure you show your work over at the side, please. It says, there was a guess your age booth at the fair. One afternoon, the ages of the visitors at the booth were 22, 33, 22, 30, 33, 27, and 22. Find the mean, median, and range for those ages. So the first thing that I would do is put them in order from least to greatest. And I start by writing them out. So you will want to write them out. I think I hit a button funny. So you're going to write 22. These are hard to write with, these pens. And you have 3 of those. 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to write 22 and 22. And put a comma in between each one. And then my next one is 27. And then a comma. See if we can get more room here on this page. And then we have 30 and 33. So 30, whoops, 30 and 33. Okay, now it's really easy to see the range. So the range is 33, subtract 22, which when I subtract that, you get 11. And then the next one that's super easy is the median. And remember, the median means middle number. So I want to take a look at how many numbers I have. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so that one's a little bit more complicated with 6. And I thought they might have done this a little differently. So I see that I missed another 33. So that's where it's important to kind of go and make sure you look at your numbers real carefully. So it doesn't change our range. This is still the same. But it does change our median because now there are 7 numbers. And so I would have 1, 2, 3, and then this would be my middle number, and then I have 3 more on the other side. So that is in the center. So that means the median is 27. And then a little harder one is the mean, and we have to add all these up. Make sure that I have them all together. So 22 plus 22 plus 22, I know is 66. Get my pen back here. 66. So I've got those 3 added in. And then 23 or 27 and 33, I can probably add together, that's 57, 60. Yep, 60 together. And then I've got 30 and 33, which is 63. So now I have to add all those up, and I get 9, 6, 12, 18. I get 189. And then there were 7 numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 numbers. So I'm going to take 189. Let me get a little more space here. And I'm going to do a division problem. And I'm going to divide that by the total number of numbers in the problem. So going back to the 7 in here. Okay. And so 7 does not go into 1. So then you have to ask yourself, how many times does 7 go into 18? 7 goes into 18 2 times. 2 times 7 is 14. And you subtract and you get 4. 7 does not go into 4, so then I bring down my 9. 7 goes into 49. 7 times 7 is 49. Subtract and you get 0. So the mean or average of this problem is 27. So I'm going to put that in over here, and 27 is my mean. So range, remember the highest minus the lowest, and median is the middle number, and then mean is when you add them all up, and then you divide by the total number of addends, or the numbers of digits that they gave you there. So the rest of these problems on this page are going to be similar to the range, mean, median, and you could probably find the mode if you wanted. Also, that's one thing that they didn't do on here, but mode is the most often scored. And so the mode would be 22 for the problem that we did, because there are 3 22s. And I can see, whoopsie, what did we do there? So we're switching gears a little bit on this page. This one we're talking about I can make a line graph, and that will be what you do on page 342. So it says the graph shows the monthly rainfall in centimeters in January and February in 3 towns. They already made the graph for you, so you just have to do the problems that are down below. What is the mean rainfall for the 3 towns in January? So then you would look at, where is January? January is the blue one. You would see where they are at on the graph. You could also use the chart up above to help you do that one also. I'd probably use the numbers in the chart. They'll be easier to see there. Add them all up, divide by 3, since there are 3 towns. Question number 5 is asking you, how much more rainfall did Burlington receive over the 2 months than Edgersville? So you would just use Burlington and Edgersville and figure out the difference between January and February for both of those. So it is important to note that they already told you that Burlington has more rain than Edgersville. And so you would want to look at how much is in the chart on each one, probably subtract that. Otherwise, you could use the data that's up in this chart again too. That might help you out and make it easier. And just use Edgersville and Burlington for that one. You forget about Brownsville. All right, for what you have on this page, you are going to, it says the table shows the average monthly temperature for Greensburg. So that's in the chart over at the right here. And it says make a line graph to show the average monthly temperature. So you're going to want to put a title in. You're going to want to put a label at each the horizontal axis and the vertical axis. You're going to want to put in your numbers that go with your chart, and you will want to, and I probably got those off a little bit, you will want to label the months here too. And since you're making a line graph, there's where the months go. Remember, it's going to be on the cross points probably where you're going to put that, and that's why that January, February, March, and April are at the cross point there for the vertical axis, which would be this number line going up and down. Those are the vertical ones. So for example, for January, February, you'll want to write those out, March and April. And I have to be able to see the data. For January, it is 2 degrees for the average temperature. So I would assume that you would put 1 here, 2 here, and then 2 degrees would go, and I'll put it in a different color so that you can see it. 2 degrees would go right there. And then once you're done, you would connect those line points between January, February, March, and April. Then down below, they are asking you a couple questions based on the work that you did in the chart. Good luck. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm happy to help.